Alright, hello everyone and welcome to something other than Spiral Knights. I asked around over the last few weeks and to my surprise every single person that I asked said they'd be okay with videos that were not Spiral Knights. So here we are because there's not really new content there. But there is a really good roguelike, and it is called Gunfire Reborn. It's a FPS roguelike that has just ridiculously neat interactions, cool weapons, cool skills, and it's just fun. I'd really recommend this game. It is severely underpriced for what you get, and let's jump into it. The game also has 4-player co-op online as well. Okay, we're gonna start with this. But yeah, the game is basically a progress through all of these different stages and then beat the bosses. It's pretty linear, but it's pretty fun too, and a lot of it puts your decision-making skills to the test, so I guess a lot of the skills that you may have earned in Spiral Knights will carry on to here. Don't be dumb, don't take too many hits, unless you have a build that really complements getting hit. Okay, that dropped something, let's see what that is. Alright, cool, it's garbage. So yeah, this character that I'm playing as, there's only 2 characters in the game right now because it's pretty early access, but this character has the ability to dual wield, the other character has like these energy blasts that stun enemies in place. Really quite a fan of this character, it's like high risk, high reward compared to the other. The other one you can go long ranges pretty comfortably, this one you just have to walk up at stuff and shoot them in the face. And try not to get hit too much. It's pretty fun to play. So every time you clear a stage, you get one of these goblets. The goblets give you a passive for the rest of the run. So for example, I can go for an explosive one, I can go for this dual wielding thing, which is hot garbage by the way, and I can go for this one that's survivability. It's not very good, but it's the best of those 3. It's actually a pretty unlucky option. You can also sometimes find these vaults that randomly spawn, and they give you scrolls that are also passive for the run. Unlike the end of stage passives though, these scrolls are not strictly beneficial. Sometimes you'll find a scroll that's bad for your build and you'll want to drop it. Okay. Those red barrels are explosive, probably goes without saying. To anyone who has played a video game in the last 10 years. The shotgun, like, it's one-shotting the things for now, but it has some serious disadvantages of being very slow and very close range. You can actually make this shotgun into one of the best weapons in the game if you get some really good stuff to build around with it, but oh, here we go, our first vault. So when you see these cracks on the wall, it's a symbol that you can shoot it to enter a vault. Clearing a vault will give you a scroll. Now the vaults are... there's a set of them for each world. So this is the first world, so one of the sets is this room full of enemies. There's another one where you have to run from boulders, and I think there's a couple others. But yeah, in the later worlds there will be ones that have you fight mini-bosses or do jump quests too, which are my favorite ones. Yeah, you also have grenades, as you might have noticed. The grenades are very powerful, but they are very limited as well, and they don't scale too well. So like they're strong early in the run, they'll fall off real hard. Oh cool, one of my favorite scrolls. So normally you have a regenerating shield and then a normal health bar that does not regenerate naturally. This converts everything into a health bar, but it gives your health bar slight regeneration. So you have higher potential health, but you also don't recover it as quickly if you make a mistake. It's a really cool concept, and it actually lends itself really well to a lot of builds. Okay, I don't know why these enemies are just running at the wall like that. Not sure what's going on there. Also, you've definitely noticed by now that headshots deal more damage and make a really satisfying hit sound. Like, they've got some good hit sounds in this game. But there's a lot of things that make the headshots even crazier. Like this, which is plus 200% crit damage, which is your headshot multiplier. Okay, let's refresh these. Alright. So yeah, there's these little shop NPCs that can spawn from time to time. There's also ones that upgrade your weapons. The shop ones are the ones you want to find, because sometimes they'll sell scrolls, and scrolls are really good. Now, you can find the same perk multiple times. So for example, this one I found the level 2 of it now, so it has twice the effect. The level 3 usually comes with some super strong bonus. So like in this case, the level 3 will give you a chance to recover health whenever you take damage. which as it turns out is really good with only having a health bar and no shield. So suddenly, this perk that is normally lackluster can become good if I find a third one. There's a lot of these little beetles here, but oh well. Now the other scroll that I picked up, the Hawkeye sight, it makes it so you do half the damage if you don't crit, but you do a lot more when you do. So I was hitting like 600s before, now I'm hitting 1000s. We have another vault, so we might as well take it. And this one is the one where all the enemies turn into little beetles when they die. It's slightly annoying, but it's not a big problem. There we go. What are we gonna get? Okay, absolute garbage. It's 50% extra damage when you're in the air. Now this is additive, not multiplicative, so it's not actually 50% more damage most of the time. And also, being in the air, it's not something you always want to be doing. Now this is actually worthless on me. Plus damage while your shield is recharging. No, your shield does not count as recharging when you don't have a shield, so it's worthless. In multiplayer, you'd be able to drop this to your teammate, so I could say to my teammate who has a shield, like, hey, it's better on you, you take this, and all would be well. Instead, there's a high chance it does nothing for me this run. Sometimes you'll find a box that lets you trade one scroll for another, and so if that happens, great, and if it doesn't, that sucks. Oh, that was a really easy one. Usually more enemies spawn there. I'm just kind of tanking the fire because my health regens anyways. So Flame Shard is a weird one. It makes you immune to fire damage after you take fire damage for a couple seconds. But the downside is you take 50% extra damage from anything that isn't fire damage. So like there's poison, lightning, and fire damage. Poison and lightning are going to hurt a lot more. However, there's very few sources of poison damage, and I think there's only one source of lightning damage. So the Fire Shard is a lot better than it sounds, because there's a fair number of fire enemies. There we go. Wow. Okay, that like never happens. Just putting that out there. There's 18 possible things it can offer you. So to offer the same one 3 times in a row, that's a rare sight, but very nice to see too. That is a rocket launcher on the ground. Don't really need it. There was also the NPC that lets you upgrade your weapons. Don't need that right now either, because my weapons are not that good. This Dragon Chaser that I have is able to shoot a tracking dart when you right-click. And so, of course, all the shots will lock onto that. It's kind of a fun little gimmick and sometimes quite useful at a long range. For close ranges, not so much. Darn, unfortunate we didn't get the running from boulders one. The boulders room is the vault that you want to find. I mean, obviously you have no say in it, but if you happen to find it, it's the best. Because it has 2 scrolls instead of 1. Ostrich Rider is another weird scroll. I should probably hover over these so you can read them. So, it gives you a lot of movement speed, but you can't dash. Dashing is a key part of this game, but without it, the game becomes more difficult but also more fun, because you can start dodging things by running, but you can't dodge some attacks, like some will be too fast. Most can be dodged though. Now these are the Trojans with shields. Normally you'd want to dash around them and then shoot them. Otherwise when they attack you can shoot them. In this case I can't exactly dash around them, so I just have to wait for them to attack. In multiplayer they're a lot easier to deal with obviously, because they'll target one enemy and then the other kills them. They're quite similar to Spiral Knight's Trojans actually. I guess the idea of a Trojan horse just inspires one type of enemy design here. I don't think I actually finished reloading my shotgun, no I didn't. Another thing worth noting is that the scroll that reduces your non-critical damage, unless they've patched it, it actually reduces your grenades too. So like, I think they did patch it, but yeah, it used to cut your grenade damage in half. Because your grenades can never crit. Now that's a good drop. The Porcupine is like a long-distance shotgun, for lack of a better term. It basically shoots out a shot that then explodes into a bunch of different shots when it hits. Very fun to use, and it really racks up damage fast. Oh, I got lucky there. Earlier on I picked up a scroll that gives you a chance of refreshing your cooldowns whenever you use a skill, so in this case I used my dual wield, the dual wield ran out, and now I get to use it again. This is a very lucky drop. So these goblets, usually they only drop at the end of the stage. You have a really low chance of one dropping from an elite enemy, and the elite enemies are really rare spawns. So for this to happen is very nice. The gold bow is usually an amazing weapon, but this character can't use it because when you're dual wielding, you can't hold the bow. And disabling the ability to dual wield kind of sucks. Plus 50% duration to dual wield is always exceptionally good. It is possibly the character's best perk. I didn't pick up the Porcupine. That's a mistake. Whoops. For all that I talked about it, I should have picked it up. These are kind of bad. Damn, I should have picked up the Porcupine. Okay. I think the lightning gloves suck, but just to show off some of the weapons in this game, I'm gonna pick it up. 'Cause why not? This is not a bad fire dragon. You know what, I think I'm gonna take it. Okay. The fire dragon is like a little flamethrower, so exactly as you might expect. And the lightning gloves are weird. They let you shoot a laser beam out, but they drain ammo real quickly for what they do. They don't do a ton of damage. This is the upgrade guy. I think we're actually going to upgrade the flamethrower once. It gains like 10% damage and that's about it. But in this case that might be good enough. Okay. Lightning glove. Now, it looks like it did a ton of damage there. The reason being, lightning is super effective against shields, and the boss has a shield. So, you use lightning against it. Does a lot to the shield, and does very little to the actual health bar. What is he doing? Okay, it's kind of weird. Not sure what's going on there. So if we get lucky, and we happen to get the refreshed cooldown, it'd be really awesome. Unfortunately we didn't. Okay. It's all good. Now, fire is super effective when the enemies don't have shield or armor. In this case, the boss's red health bar is no shield, no armor, so we can just burn him down. And it's done. Explosives AoE is a fun one, but it's probably already too late in the run to take it. If you go for an explosion build, you have to go all in on it. Big Hippo is a very fun minigun, but this one has terrible modifiers. This thing is a grenade launcher, also very fun, not very good for me right now. And this is a legendary scroll that does nothing, because it refreshes your shield whenever you dash. Cool. I'd also bought this in the shop earlier, damaged out when your HP is full, which is usually worthless, but who knows, maybe I'll be at full HP at some point in this run. For more than a second. Probably not. If I get like a really good sniper rifle, maybe it'll help. So I bought it. Also, buying it makes it so that it won't drop from a vault later on, which is also a big upside. Some of you will have noticed that there is a minimap on the top left as well. Minimap is very useful. Lets you see where every single enemy that is spawned and is remotely nearby is. Just it turns out is a big upside to have. You also might have noticed the enemy looked like it was stunned. The combination of fire and electricity, if they both happen to proc their effects, is confusion, which makes the enemies fight their own enemies. So like, if there's two enemy snipers, you confuse one of them, it'll start shooting the other one. Very nice effect, and a nice bonus of dual wielding two different elements. Which is another part of why I got the lightning glove. Holy crap. Okay. Goodbye, lightning glove. I'll pause on this one real quick. So this thing is very, very, very good. Lightning damage, which lets you still do confusion. But this main effect here, magazine capacity becomes 2 when the first shot can't kill the enemy, plus 200% lucky shot chance to the second shot. Lucky shots are like a special type of crit, so you don't have to aim for the head, they're just a crit that happens at random. Plus 200% lucky shot chance means that it does twice the effect all the time. So like that guy just took a ton of damage. There's also a lot of scrolls that scale well with Lucky Shot, so having it is almost never a bad thing. Darn, I thought that would actually one-shot it, I guess not. Does a lot of damage though, a whole lot of damage. And we got another vault here, which is cool too. Okay. We're gonna start confusing enemies because there's some stronger ones coming up. So like these flamethrower guys will chunk you pretty hard, but when they're confused, no big deal. You'll notice there's a lot of enemies behind me on the minimap, and that's okay. I've killed off most of these strong enemies, so it's just weak things left. Makes it pretty easy to manage everything. Okay. Get the goblet, get duration to dual wielding again. This does not normally happen, this is just a really lucky run, but there's a high chance that we max out the duration of dual wielding. When you max it out, it basically redefines what you build because it makes it so that every 100 ammo you shoot, you dual wield for 2 seconds longer. And with the right weapons, like that minigun earlier, you can make that infinite. I don't know why I had my slow weapon on when I ran through there, but I did, and that was a big mistake. So this is a jump quest. Something weird about this is it's supposed to have 2 enemies and not 1. Wait, did they add rooms? Holy cow. Wait, this is different. They actually added a room to the game. When did they patch this in? Okay. Anyways, this is one of those jump quests I was talking about, but... Wow. What? Does it just not have the bonus chest? Normally the jump quests have like a bonus chest as well. Is there still that? There must be. I think that's what this is. Huh. Challenge event hard. What is... Complete stage within the time. What's the stage? I don't understand. Am I supposed to be jumping up here? No, that's an invisible wall. Oh, I see it. Okay. So you jump here, then you jump around. Makes sense. Okay. Very cool. That's not too bad at all. Oh, good scroll. The good option that it just gave was plus 3% damage for every 100 copper you have, which is like the currency. It caps at 30% extra damage, but 30% extra damage is very good for basically having no downsides. You almost always have at least 1,000 copper. Next stage, I do see another vault, which is excellent. The lightning worm things are quite annoying. Plenty of them spawn in the desert, but they're probably the most dangerous enemy type here. Just because they can shoot you from across the map with perfect accuracy, which is a very annoying thing to do. But frankly, just rude of them. Okay. Let's just see what this vault has to offer. Please be another jump quest. Oh, thank you. Really cool how they redesigned these, though. So, that challenge where you had to get to the end within a time limit, that used to just be there from the start. So you'd start the stage, and if you made it to the end in time, you would get a second chest for free. Now you actually have to go an alternate path for that second chest. Or well, there was like sort of an alternate path for the second chest, but it was very, very different. It was like a couple extra jumps. Now it's an entirely different thing. Whoops-a-daisy. This time limit is really generous though, 120 seconds. I think the timer for the quest used to be like 40 seconds to get to the end of the stage. Wow, I didn't jump, whoops. So yeah, 120 is... that's really lenient. I mean, eventually you'd just get it down and always make it to the end in time, but if you were new to the game, 40 seconds was pretty brutal. Oh, whoops. I done goofed. Wait, you can get back up, right? Yeah, you can. Okay. I'm sure this would be easier if I just dropped the Ostrich Rider and had the ability to dash, but it's more fun this way, so... Wow, these are terrible. Okay, let's just take this. Can you jump over from here? Oh, you can, I see. So you're supposed to do like the alt path first, then you jump over to here. Makes sense. Now I believe... Oh, it was just one of those upgraded dudes. That's a new modifier too, plus 50% damage on a direct hit that was never in the game before. It's kind of neat to see that they're adding stuff already. The game's barely in early access, like... It just went up to early access less than a month ago. They've already made plenty of balance patches, but now they're actually adding content. I wonder if there's new scrolls and weapons too. Ah yes, now this is what I'm talking about with the worms that shoot you across the map. There's a worm all the way over there. And actually hitting it with a shotgun and a flamethrower is probably not going to happen until I walk up to it, so there we go. But yeah, they do a lot of damage, and they shoot from a long ways away. I think they've actually slightly nerfed the worms because they would kill me in like 3 or 4 hits before, but still strong. Is there any vault here? Don't see one. Okay. We'll just get this guy confused and then it's easy peasy from there. Now, another interesting thing is a couple of the scrolls that I picked up earlier, they send out these waves of energy every once in a while. So I had this lightning one and a fire one. These can actually inflict confusion on their own if they both hit the enemy. So you'll see that red ring was the fire one. There's a vault over there. And that blue one was the lightning one. Those stack towards this special confusion effect. There's basically an effect for each combination, so like there's lightning, fire, and poison, and then any combination of the two will have a special additional thing. The flame shard that I picked up earlier coming in big there, making me immune to fire damage so I can just tank the flamethrower. Usually those guys are quite terrifying. At least in melee range. Makes sense, a flamethrower is probably supposed to be. Not bad. Not good enough either though. Oh, actually maybe I should pick it up for this guys. So yellow health bars are armor. They're weak to poison, so we're just gonna pop on this poison weapon. There we go. Okay. It's done its job. Pick up that vault real quick. Maybe it'll be another jump quest, who knows? Okay, it's not. This is one where a mini-boss spawns when you kill it. Or when you kill everything, I should say. The mini-boss has a really small chance of dropping a goblet. I think the chance is higher in solo, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I've definitely found more in solo than I have multiplayer, like proportionally, but that could just be pure chance. Though seeing as they do some things to balance out multiplayer, it would make sense to me. Okay. What all did we get? This is a really interesting combination of mods. So on some weapons, this combination will win you the game on the spot, ammo returns to the magazine on miss, and projectiles plus for every enemy you kill. The idea is that if you have a gun with a large enough magazine, you can get it so that you're shooting multiple bullets every shot, and it refunds you multiple ammo every shot that you miss because you have multiple projectiles. Okay, well only one of these scrolls does anything on me, so we'll take the percent damage at lower HP. But yeah, so sometimes you'll have a weapon that just has functionally infinite ammo and just scales up in projectiles, so you just shoot a bunch of things, it does a ton of damage, and you never run out. Very good. Hopefully the shopkeeper is something good too. This is pretty darn good. So is that. Okay, I'm gonna buy the scalpel over the fire dragon probably. So the scalpel is... Oh wow, that's also good. Do I want that? Probably not. I think... Actually, no, maybe I do. Maybe I do. No, let's just do it. I missed the porcupine earlier, here's one now. There's 2 fires, you can like spread shot, or you can actually just shoot a little needle that explodes. Both are very cool and very good. So this scalpel, it shoots out 1.5 shots basically, so every second shot it'll be an extra shot. These are both meh, and the middle one's just bad for my build. I'm gonna take the recover ammo just in case. But yeah, so the idea is that the scalpel costs 1 ammo to fire, but because it refunds ammo to miss, I'll actually gain back ammo, so I'll shoot this guy a bit, it'll kill it, and now I'm back at 36 ammo again. It's not as good as the extra projectiles every time you kill something, because that caps at 3 projectiles instead of 1.5. But it's still pretty good, because I can just hold down the trigger and hope for the best. Now this guy has the shield, so we're going to switch to dual wield so that I can use the porcupine. Porcupine does poison damage, so we can take it out. Unlike my scalpel, the porcupine does not have functionally infinite ammo, and that's okay. Worth noting that these sniper guys, the tall ones, they do have a shield bar, but they're just not very tanky, so I don't normally switch to the porcupine for them. It's more the charging guys that are tanky enough to merit it. Okay. And we're done. Oh, we get an elite? Or... oh. That's not good. Just makes everything turn into those annoying sniper worms every time you kill them. The only upside is when you clear a challenge event thing, you are guaranteed to either get a scroll or a healing item. Now, obviously you'd rather have the scroll than the healing item because it's permanent progress, but you don't get to decide, so... it's just whatever the game gives you. Now there is the worm that will come with every single enemy. It's very annoying. Thankfully, since you know where to shoot, they're not as much of a problem, but they still deal a lot of damage. Okay, wow, we actually got a scroll, but it's terrible. Or at least it's terrible on me. It would be good on another character, but not when I have all HP bar. This is a very good weapon, but it will run out of ammo very quickly. So if you have something that lets you shoot it repeatedly, it's excellent, and if you don't, it's not. The Bone Dragon, I'll just shoot it once to show you. It fires these little gravitational bullets. Where did it go? There you go. Pulls enemies in and is generally awesome. The laser glove is terrible and probably the worst weapon in the game. Good laser gloves kind of exist with the right modifiers, but for the most part it's just bad. Doesn't do enough damage for how much it costs to shoot. Not good. I'm gonna dual wield here. Not even because of health bars or anything, but just because there's so many enemies, it's gonna take a while to kill them all without dual wielding. Also, dual wielding is making me more tanky because of the recover health half the time that you're hit when you're dual wielding. Prevents any unnecessary accidents, I guess. Where's that last guy? Okay. Another golden bow, unfortunately I can't use it, but that one's nothing special. I think that's it, huh? There was no vault, no golden chest? Okay. Well, then onwards we go. Hopefully there's a vault here. This floor's been a little dry for them. I don't see one. If there is one, it's on the upper floor, I think. But I don't think there is. Okay. Yeah, nothing. Oh well. It's a golden chest though, that's good. The golden chests have a variety of different effects. Usually, it is just something involving either scrolls, health, or money. So you'll gain a scroll, you'll gain health, you'll gain money. Sometimes you'll find one that lets you upgrade your weapon inscriptions. So let's say my porcupine, I like the porcupine, but mine didn't have the best inscriptions. You could upgrade it, but it will pick a random inscription, or a random weak inscription. So if I had like one inscription that I liked and 3 that I didn't, there's still the chance that I lose the one that I like. Inscriptions just being the lines of text on these weapons. Okay, only one enemy left. Let's just see what this is. Oh, okay. That's bad. Yeah, there's these things called cursed scrolls, so sometimes the golden chests will offer you extremely good rewards in exchange for getting a cursed scroll. It's very rarely worth it. There's like one scroll that makes you immune to cursed scrolls, and if you don't have that, it's generally not worth using the thing. Now, this is normally a good perk, but because it would cost 2 ammo to shoot the scalpel, and it only refunds 1.5 every shot, so this would be bad with it. This is always good, and then this is okay. We're just gonna take the always good thing. Yeah, usually the rightmost perk would be awesome. Not right now. We're at the second boss here. There's only 3 bosses in the game, so we're making good progress. Are any of these amazing? Not really. This has projectiles plus 3, but it's a shotgun, so plus 3 projectiles is not as much as it might sound. We'll just take improved clip, even though it's terrible, and we'll move on. I will upgrade the scalpel, though. This is a gun that I'm going to use to the end of the run, so I'm going to upgrade its damage. I spent a bit too much money. I actually realized my damage will go down because I had the money equals damage scroll, which I forgot about. Should have only upgraded it twice. Okay, second boss though. You might notice that I absolutely decimate this thing. Every shot in its mouth is a critical hit, and I have that extra crit hit damage scroll. Plus I have this scalpel that I can shoot forever. It's a great combination. It just burrows a bit and then comes back up. Sometimes its tail will flip up, and then that's when you get to shoot it. Its mouth is a crit spot, and its tail is too. There's the tail, and now it's gonna die. Whenever it does this attack, you can just throw a grenade to break all the bullets. And boom. Okay. Wow, this is terrible. So, I'm not a grenade build, clearly. These are all very much grenade build oriented. We'll just take this, but it'll never be used. What was this? Cool, that's not bad. Nothing great, but oh well. The scalpel alone is enough to win the run, assuming you play well enough. Obviously, if you just run in and get hit by everything, then yeah, the scalpel's gonna suck, but you can avoid the hits. Very strong weapon. Oh, look at those double grenades doing so much work. No sarcasm at all. Those lanterns have like 600 health, so it's really not necessary. Very cool. Was there anything good? Shrieker's kind of bad. Don't see a vault, and I don't see a gold chest, so let's move on. You've probably noticed that the vault's colors change in each world. The first world was purple, the second was yellow. This one's they're blue now. It came in a patch a couple days ago, actually. They used to also be purple, but now they're a nice blue color. It's actually a bit less noticeable, but I guess that's kind of the point, is that you're supposed to find them. And I'm taking a lot of damage. Probably should have not picked up the ostrich boots so I could dash out of the slowing effect there, but who cares? Sometimes there's a gold chest up here. It doesn't look like there is this time. But we just want to get far enough out of range just in case something big spawns like that octopus, which I do not want to shoot me in the face. The octopus enemies deal a decent amount of damage, but they slow you. Now there's a couple scrolls that make you immune to slow or make you get slowed by less from this. But I don't have either, so it's a big downside. And normally the thing you would do is if you're slowed you would dash around, but I can't dash right now, so oh well. Okay. This is the last area of the map. You can see the portals on the map. It's like that little yellow swirly icon. So I know I can pretty safely just dual wield and hope for the best. Okay. Thankfully the porcupine does a lot of damage to this octopus, so we can kill it pretty decently. These kappas will shoot little homing orbs at you. You can shoot the orbs out of the sky, or you can just kill the kappa. Personally, I think killing the kappa is the way to go, but to each their own. Didn't see a vault or a gold chest again. I think there just wasn't one on this floor. These are both pretty good. This one, when you lose enough max HP in one hit, you get damage immunity for a short time. Sounds very good, right? But I have such a high max HP pool right now that it's only good if I get the level 3 version. And obviously it's a bit late in the run to get the level 3 version, so we're just going with the other one. Plus lucky shot chance when dual wielding. Which again, the lucky shots are like an extra crit. Oh, that's an interesting effect. I don't think I've seen this one either. I'm not sure if this was just added or if it was always there but just rare. I've played a lot of the game, so I'm assuming it was just added, but who knows. There's always a lot of content in here, so I'm sure there's plenty that I've not found. That is a tanky enemy, holy crap. Okay. I was just curious how fast the porcupine can kill a defensive enemy, and the answer is not very. You'll notice some of these enemies have names, like this one is a lightning one, so it actually does lightning damage. Which is, as far as I know, the only source of lightning damage that enemies can inflict, at least. Please tell me there's a vault or a gold chest somewhere. I didn't see one, but suppose not. Okay. On we go, then. Yeah, these enemies with the bags on their head are the priority #1 kills. These corrupt monks will summon lanterns. Infinitely, too. They'll summon 3 lanterns every time they swing their staff around. And they can just keep doing that, which you really don't want, so you want to kill those guys as soon as you can. Or I guess you usually really don't want. There's rare occasions where you want the enemies to have a bunch of lanterns spawning. My porcupine explosion accidentally opened up a vault, which is really neat. I didn't notice that, but thanks, porcupine. There's a weapon over there. I'll come back and look at it after. Please be a jump quest. I'm curious if they changed this one. Oh, they did. They very much changed this one, because, again, it would have had a timer to start. Now it has a chest up there. That's interesting. So, previously, you would get to an extra chest by jumping around that corner. Now it seems they moved the chest to the top and realized that this is cheesable. You used to be able to jump on those boards there and get to the top that way. Can't do that now. Very sad. Oh, what? Oh, you can jump up there now, I see. Okay. That's neat, though. They made a little, like, checkpoint thing. I think you're supposed to dash to there. Instead of ostrich boots, I have to probably drop them. We'll see. Maybe that's why they give you such a long time limit. So you'd have to drop it, which is kind of sad. Wow. Now I'll have to get used to the speed all over again. Okay. Well, there we go. These are some really good scrolls. This makes it so attacks can't do more than 11% of your health at once, but they'll do double damage if they do less than that. And this one makes you alternate between dealing extra damage and taking less. I think I'm gonna take the deal and take damage one, but they're both really good options. I'm also going to reclaim my ostrich boots so that I can move fast once more. Is it good? If you're speedrunning, it is. Otherwise, it's okay. It's situationally good, I should say. I think I like the old jump quest more for that one, though. I like the desert's new one more, but I like this one. That's a lot of blue effects. Sadly, not amazing. I mean, projectiles plus 1 is good, but it's not good enough to swap in for this porcupine. So, oh well. Well, there's a lantern spawning set of dudes. We want to kill those as soon as possible. Looking pretty good so far. I think it's the end of the level 2. Yeah, it is. I see that yellow portal on the map. Okay. And I see a gold chest, which is great. Now if there just happened to be a vault, it'd be even better. That is a tanky guy. Is it defensive? It is. Okay. Garbage weapon, and what about this one? Garbage weapon, okay. Oh, and there is the vault. Excellent. Elemental Bestowment, the scroll that I just got, heals you for 1% of your health when you kill an enemy that's affected by an element, which the enemies usually are going to be with me right now because of the fire and lightning rings. I mean, 1% of your health is not much. Like, it's basically nothing right now. It's more intended for builds where you don't have natural health regen, just to top you off. For this build, it's not great, but that's okay. It's not, like, bad to have. I suppose I'm gonna have to start finding a fire weapon soon, too. There's unlocks for doing certain achievement things, like most of the weapons and scrolls in the game you actually have to unlock. Oh, goblet, cool. And, oh, this corrosion, too bad. And yeah, so the unlocked stuff, like this scalpel, for example, is an unlocked weapon. They tend to be either stronger or more interesting than the normal weapons. That's not always the case, like laser gloves are unlocked and they're terrible. This is really good, but maybe not on my build. I can't believe there's a world where I might not take this scroll in exchange for this. But, okay, this is terrible on me. You take more damage when you have no shield, but you take less when you have a shield. Good on another character, not on me. This is just bad. And this thing is usually amazing. It enables a lot of different builds. However, the scalpel is returning all the ammo to its magazine, so I have functionally infinite ammo on it. So even though it enables other weapons, it'll disable my scalpel. And in this run, this scalpel is too good to pass up on. So... tragic. Can't take that. But yes, so the reason I want a fire weapon is there's an achievement gun to kill 100 lobsters with fire damage. Now we haven't even seen a single lobster yet this run, and usually you'll find somewhere between 2 and 5, all clumped in the last stage or two. They're very, very rare enemies. So you have to kill 100 with fire damage. This achievement takes such a long time. I don't think the wiki even has, like, any info on the weapon other than what the game tells you before you unlock it. Because I don't think anyone really has the weapon. Like, there's a few people who will have played enough. But I'm the max level in this game, like... and I'm still less than halfway there. So that's a lobster. Unfortunately, no fire weapon on me. Okay, this would be... You know what? We'll take the Curse Scroll. We'll see what it is. Great, this is probably the best Curse Scroll I could have found because it does nothing for my Scalpel. Which is great. We got damage against elites and bosses and lucky shot chance for every ammo consumed in the magazine. Okay, that one's worse, but whatever. How do I kill you with fire damage? I need to kill you with the Ring of Fire effect. Somehow. How the hell will I manage that? Does it even do enough damage to kill? I don't know. Crap. Okay, well that thing's just dead. Okay, Fire Ring, please do enough. I'm begging you. $800. Okay, it's not gonna happen. Oh well. No achievement progress this time. I didn't see a vault back there. I hope I didn't miss one, but I don't think I did. I could be wrong. There was also an achievement to kill 30 crabs with fire damage in one stage. As far as I can tell, I think I was like either the first or one of the first to get the achievement, because it showed us 0.00 earned stats, which is kind of hilarious. There's basically one challenge effect that can happen, where enemies that die spawn crabs. So I was playing a 3-player game, which the more players you have, the more enemies spawn. And both of my teammates left. And then I got that effect where the enemies that die turn into crabs. So there were enough crabs on the map for me to just kill them all with fire damage and get the achievement. I think that's like the only way you get it too. Is that one little effect that can spawn. Hello lantern thingy. And hello crabs. So I see more lobsters. I hope one of these enemies drops a fire weapon. These Annihilation Monks will teleport and then start blow darting you into the abyss. It's very rude of them. That's not a fire weapon. Tragedy. I'm so sorry, lobsters. I can't get the achievement off you. That better not be a fire weapon. Okay, thank goodness. I was gonna say, if they dropped one, it would just be the worst. Insult to injury and all that. Again, didn't see a vault. If I missed one and one of you saw it, terribly sorry. But I didn't see one, so we'll just go on. Now, next up is the last boss, so hopefully this gives dual wield duration. Holy crap, it did. Okay. This is ridiculously good with my build. It is the perfect thing. Wait, what? It's every 20 ammo now? Okay. I can't believe they buffed this. This thing was already probably like the strongest perk in the game, and they buffed it. Weird. Okay, maybe if people thought it was worse than it was or something, but this is really good. So every 20 ammo consumed, you get 2 seconds of dual wield duration. Now, you can probably see how fast I'm shooting 20 times. It's a lot. Like, I'm gonna shoot 20 times faster than I actually use the dual wield, so I'll have functionally infinite dual wielding. It's gonna be good. Key Peddler. That's really good. That's really good. Not so much on those, and that's okay. Truly don't care. We'll upgrade the scalpel twice and keep 1,000 gold. I'm not making the same mistake twice. This is probably my favorite enemy design in the game, and you'll see why. So you're up against like this giant ship thing. I mean, that's not actually the reason why it's my favorite enemy design, but you'll see. Oh, you'll all see. It's a very cool fight, though. Has these cannons that shoot at you. You have to pick up artillery shells from killing the octopus each round, and use that to disable the boss's shield. Now the one downside against the boss is that every shot counts as a hit, even though you can only damage it in the cannons at first. So I don't actually recover ammo. And that's okay. I can afford to not recover ammo for a little while. There we go. It's my favorite thing. The music sync to that face is just perfect. Like, it's never not funny. The eyes are the weak spots for this one, and it's just dead. The scalpel is insane though. Like, usually the boss takes a little longer than that. Yeah, the scalpel's just really good. And that's the run! But yeah, that's Gunfire Reborn. The game is phenomenal. Really, really good game. Please buy it if you're at all interested. If you even watched this far, and you thought it was interesting enough, I urge you to buy this, because it's only $10, and I don't know why. Now, every time you finish a run, mine is maxed already, you get these, like, soul essence things. Whether you win or lose, but ideally you win. And you can spend them on permanent perks. So for example, you can get like ammo capacity ups, max HP up, explosive damage up. But then there's also more interesting ones, like every time you go to a shop, one of the random items will be free. Or you can reroll shop items, or like if you're reviving your teammates, you can't die while you're reviving them. This is huge in multiplayer because a lot of the time you're just reviving someone in the middle of a crowd of enemies. You can just keep chaining revives on each other. It's very fun, it's very stupid, but the game's all about that. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed. I hope you like the idea of this game, if not, fair. But if you do, I truly think it is the best roguelike of the year. And I'll really quickly go into like the armory too. So, there's all these different weapons. Wow, I'm actually halfway done now. And you get them from different achievements. I think everything up to here. Oh, actually, it's not in order, I see. But yeah, you only start with like 11 or 12 weapons. It's not that many out of the 34 in the game. And then these scrolls, there's so many scrolls. 106. That's a lot of scrolls. Like, some of them you'll never see, like all these cursed scrolls. Anytime you see them, they won't matter, because you don't want to take a curse scroll. Like, some of them are not bad. Reloading, you have more chance of spending ammo. Shop costs more. Those are fine. But there's some that will just cripple your run. Like, you can't inflict elements is huge. Like, that's such a downside. Or, this one, minus 50% crit damage is huge. So just never take curse scrolls, basically. I say after taking one. But yeah, there's so much content in this game, it's insane. I should probably stop dragging this on. Thank you again. Have a wonderful day.